784, Isaac Bowers.
Thank you. You know, this is a very difficult decision in one way. It's a difficult decision because we all know how many decades of neglect and how badly the Hunters Point Bayview community needs development, needs investment, needs jobs. But when I looked closely at the EIR and the process by which this occurred, I just could not have supported this development. And I'll be specific. I do not think that the range of alternatives considered for the bridge over Yosemite Slough, a protected wetland, was sufficient. I believe that the community demands for more information and more safeguards concerning the cleanup, especially parcel E2, were legitimate. I believe that the jobs, as we said before, in research and development and the vaguely defined green, research and development facilities and retail were insufficient to meet the needs of the community in the long run. There was no analysis of displacement that might occur because of this project. And as I said before, the amount of truly affordable housing that was affordable for people in the Bayview Hunters Point community, was, in the end, in my opinion, inadequate. So I would have initially been in favor of sending it back to amend on these points, as the Board of Supervisors tried to do. That didn't work out. I would have voted no. I'd like to take a few seconds just to talk about a few of the lessons I think we have from this. In the 30 seconds I have, thank you, Rachel. First of all, we need to look at real jobs when we're looking at development. That is why I have said, and I will continue to say, and I promise, that I will work to reopen the port. That is a source of real jobs for the community. Second of all, the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency has to be put back under the control of the Board of Supervisors. They cannot be allowed to stymie development projects and put up these fake projects that don't benefit people in the community. And finally, if it was my plan,
thank you,
I would have just been quiet.
Diane Wesley-Smith.
Thank you. It appears to me, after following the trail of how we got to the broken promises, how Lennar purchased a shipyard, in real estate, it is buy low, sell high. It's so ridiculous. Talk about collusion, in my opinion, in all due respect. But there's a lot of collusion involved in this. I saw it, I watched it. That's what motivated me to organize the Bayview Hunters Point Real Estate Professionals, which is morphed into the District 10 Real Estate Professionals. It is no accident that there are no community real estate professionals sitting on the board. How are you going to deal with the land and not have someone that is a professional on the board? That is such a setup. Second thing is, I'd like to see an independent party come and provide a study different from the independent from the EPA. The other thing I'd like to say is there's a lot of parcels. Lennar only was concerned with getting the shipyard. Who knows what's going to happen next? We do not know. The jury is still out. A lot of promises been made. Oh man, let's not get started again with broken promises. We don't know how long they're going to sit on it. We don't know what the real plan is. Please understand that this was a done deal almost 5 years ago. But they jerked people around, had people thinking that they had a right to vote. This is how it's done. No good. I think that the Lennar, I've written a proposal for Lennar, which will address, it's called a brokers program, a community brokers program with a workforce initiative. And that will pretty much cover everything. But as it stands right now, people need a lot more information. And they're not going to give it to you unless you fight and have someone like Diane Wesley-Smith, the lion, because it's time for a lion now to work for you as your next supervisor. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Joe Morris.
Well, the shipyard, like I say, it's a lot of money and it's a lot of hours that's pushing the shipyard. I would have voted no. And the reason why I would have voted no, because that you had pages and pages of public comment of people asking for amendments. They had an overflow room of people that was there, and no one took that into consideration when they made that. It's been a fantastic coalition that I like seeing in the community to stop the entire Project Lennar. And people continue to ignore their cries. And it's not like it's something out there. They have certified environmentalists on this fight as well. This is something, I'm looking at Nisi and Marie Harrison, something that they're so very passionate with. It's not like we made it up. Let me tell you, my grandfather came from Mississippi to that shipyard and died because of lead poisoning from that shipyard as a painter. And so I think that just to hurry up and pass it, and it was kind of under the thing that we need to hurry up before Santa Clara goes to vote. Ms. Espinola can tell you about how many promises the Niners has done to the community of District 10. And so that should have never been the reason why to speed it up. And to have people here till 1 o'clock at night and double up meetings. These kind of things, if this happened in any other community, it would have never happened. It would have never happened. You wouldn't have got rid of your Restoration Advisory Board. You wouldn't have had dust flying up in the air. Everything that has happened to Bayview is no coincidence. It's because it's a poor community of minority people with a majority of African American people that they feel that we're not knowledgeable to know about what's going on, but we are. And it's a strong coalition, and I just and I back them all the way. And as your supervisor, I will support you. But I do want the job to go through, but I don't want it to go at the expense of our people and our voices being ignored. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Chris Jackson.
And thank you for this question. And yes, I would support the project, but with amendments, chief among them, ensuring the full cleanup to residential standards of the shipyard, and to figure out a way to deal with that bridge. Working coalition with the Sierra Club and other environmental coalitions to work on an agreement that works on the bridge. Our role as supervisors is not to just say no. That's what Republicans do. They have that job already. Our job as supervisors are to find a way to make things work on behalf of this community. And so it's not my role to look back in the past. It's my role to look forward in the future and to make this project work on behalf of working class families and individuals in this district. And like I agree with Isaac, and we agree on a lot. We need to open up those ports to provide working class union jobs for folks in this community so that they can actually afford a house in this community and they can stay living here. We also need to work on a health clinic. We have some of the highest health disparities with diabetes, asthma, bronchitis, and STDs among our teens. We need a real health clinic to meet the needs of the community in Bayview, Hunters Point, and in District 10. We also need to look at a cooperative housing model and land trust to actually be able to, without heavy subsidy, provide affordable models for people to actually be able to live in that development. If we are a better city than just saying no. And I say fundamentally, we can make this work. And I know it's not the popular decision, especially since I believe this is a progressive panel. I actually think that it's hard to push this. But as supervisor, I'm going to continue to work on a supplemental EIR so that we can put initiatives and ideas in here to make this a creative, a wonderful project, and to make this a project that works on behalf of working families. And that's my commitment as supervisor. And that's not a broken promise. I fought for it. I'm going to continue to fight for that, for my ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
It's no secret I would have voted no. I was the only one of all of these candidates last night or tonight to actually testify against the EIR and then in support of the EIR appeal at the Board of Supervisors. I would vote no because I want to realize the goals of redevelopment faster than with this project. At the same time that the board was approving the Lennar project last week, Michael Cohen, you might not know him, he's the mayor of San Francisco. He said in the newspaper that this project is going to be built for 4 or 5 years at the earliest. It's going to start construction. Now, how can the city say, how could last night's candidates say that you must support this project because of all the promises that it holds to the people of Bayview and it's our only way out, when on the other side of the city's mouth, it's not going to happen for a long time, in part because we promised so much.
Come on now.
And this is and now the board and the city are giving the same folks at redevelopment billions more dollars to follow the $1 billion that already went and they can't track with parcel A.